feel like I'm running. Both feel we're living worlds apart. It's fucked now, we lost in limbo. Remembering what you said though, and I asked you if we'd make it far. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said no, 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 no. No, 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 you should. I've earned the cost and now I've paid it. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, please don't go. I know my face a memory erasing. Been a few years since I heard your voice, yeah. Lost a few here, but it's not by choice, no. Girl, I see your face every day when I look through my phone. Can't delete all these memories, won't leave me alone. Hit my blind side, never saw you coming. You were so wild, both know I was nothing. And I'm nothing now, nothing's changed, you know I'm just the same. Miss you now, but I hope that someday you explain. That one last kiss that they write about, my one last wish you could never doubt. I trust angels who fly away from you, and you told me that we'd never die. Gave me so many reasons why we were meant to be. Then she said,
Well, hello, my little cool cats and kittens. It's good to see everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is July 17th, 2023. It is 8:31 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Thank you all for joining me. It's good to see you all in chat. I do appreciate you all. Sandy, thank you so much for becoming a member right off the bat. Thank you so much, my love. I do appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you. Guys, I appreciate you all being here. Our mods, they are in blue. If I happen to not be able to get a question, there's a lot of people in chat, so you can ask them and or email me. My email address is down below, and our members, they are in green. Thank you all. Appreciate you all for being here regardless. Do me a favor, though, hit that thumbs up button. It's really important. And the more we get that thumbs up, the more this spreads out so more people can hear about the victims. On this channel, we are for the victims. Always. Always. And that's that. Hello, Fun Size, One Love, Butterfly Kisses, my three sons, Wanda, Cecilia, and Marie, Just Breathe, Lisa, Dee Dee, Tracy, Sabrina, Marquita, One Love, Nurse Sandy, Alibi, good to see you, Elafide, Marie, Colorado, Sally, good to see you all. Thank you all so much for being here. Guys, this Rex Heuermann is scary. Real scary. Now, as you guys know, for years now, we have wondered who is this Long Island serial unaliver. Definitely a double life, my three sons. We got a lot to talk about tonight. I am going to be following this case through it all. This is one that I'm going to devote the time to. I don't do every single case that's like across the board. I would rather do a few good or decent rather than just be all over the place. Lady, thank you, Lady of the Wood. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you. It means a lot. So we are going to be following this. I have researched this for literally the last 2 days, and a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot to talk about. Here is a photo of Rex. He also now he's known as LISK, LISK, for the Long Island Serial. You know what, right? Let's pop me over here. Where am I? I'm still not used to this camera. Make sure microphone's on good. All right, perfect. So he is married. He has his wife, I believe you pronounce it Asa, and they share 2 children together. The children are older. You have a granddaughter named Chloe. I think Chloe's a beautiful name. I love the name. So my daughter lives up there. Oh, really, Judith? They really wanted to know a lot. And I'm going to tell you how they found this guy, about he's in some financial trouble. He owes a lot of money. He has the property that he was staying at is not his primary residence. He inherited that property from his parents, and it's kind of scary, the property. You know what I mean? I mean, it's really kind of scary. So we're gonna be going through the court documents this evening. A lot to talk about. Get comfortable, grab a snack, a drink, and let's talk about it. Thank you, Miss H. I live on Long Island. Big news. Oh my gosh, a laugh a day. I can't imagine. Girl, email me. Send me some clips. We truly, uh, as much as it is fascinating to learn about these serial killers, the reason we can't lose sight of the victims. These are real lives. These are real human beings. They have real families, and their lives were taken for no reason other than this sadistic human being, if you would call this person that. Um, Susie, all my blood pressure is back to normal, hon. Oh, good. Thank God, Susie. I'm so glad you're doing better. I suffered with high blood pressure um, a few years ago. I mean, I still have high blood pressure, but um, when I was not on medication for blood pressure, it got really, really bad. And when you have high blood pressure, you feel really, really bad. Um, all right, what should we do first here? All right, so first, what I'm going to do is we're just going to we'll go over this press conference, and then we're going to go over some documents.
Thank you all for attending this update relative to the Gilgo Beach homicide investigation and the
It's a
New York
little
State
low.
Police
Can
role
y'all?
in this investigation. My name is Major Steve
Second.
Udis, and I'm the New York State Police Troop L. Long.
It's low, but can y'all hear it? It's low. Yeah, it is low. I do apologize, but um, that's as good as it's.
Island Troop Commander. There have been a number of questions forwarded to my office relative to our role and how we became involved in this investigation. We are hosting this event to answer those questions. We were asked in early 2022 by the Suffolk County Police Commissioner to join a task force relative to homicides investigation. We evaluated that request, and after evaluating that request, we were more than willing to assign an investigator full-time and open up the full resources of the New York State Police to the task force that was being created. We assigned an investigator from the New York State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation to work on this case. And in doing so, that investigator was relieved of all other responsibilities. That investigator was assigned full-time to that investigation, and that investigator was directed to maintain contact with State Police Command and communicate the needs for any additional resources needed.
I don't know what's buffering. Sorry.
That investigator started this assignment in February of 2022. In March of 2022, this same New York State Police investigator reported to the leadership of that task force that a potential suspect had been identified. This suspect was Rex Heuermann. This was the first time that Rex Heuermann's name had come up and the first time that he had been identified as a potential suspect. At that time, the task force worked as a team to move forward with that information and their investigation, and ultimately confirmed that Rex Heuermann was in fact the individual responsible for, at minimum, the deaths of 3 women.
And so February, March of 2022, so a year and a half, give or take, they've been really eyeing this guy. And we're going to talk about how they pinged the phones and all of that as well. I do apologize for the buffering. Yes, Alafide, we're going to talk about those dolls. We're going to talk about them. It's very creepy. Very creepy. I think those were his trophies.
I want to emphasize that although it was the New York State Police investigator that was responsible for identifying the suspect, it was the teamwork of the task force as a whole that helped bring this case to where it is today. The agencies involved in this investigation worked seamlessly with one another with the objective of identifying the individual responsible for these crimes. I've also been asked to provide the name of the investigator assigned. Because this is an active and ongoing investigation, we will not be providing the name of any of the members assigned to the investigation at this point. There are currently important investigative steps that are continuing and ongoing, and it would be premature on my part for me to identify any of the New York State Police members or any of the task force members at this point to anybody. We do not want in any way to compromise this investigation. What I will share with you is that the investigator that was assigned was a member of our Troop L Major Crimes Unit. This is a squad consisting of some of our most seasoned and experienced members, each of whom is experienced in different disciplines, including, but not limited to, the following: polygraph, interview and interrogation, statement analysis, evidence evaluation, homicide investigation, and violent crimes. As I mentioned at last week's press conference, the New York State Police remains committed to supporting the Suffolk County DA's office, the Suffolk County Police Department, and this task force. Part of supporting each of those agencies is to not compromise this investigation as it moves forward, and that is why we will not be providing the names of any of our personnel that are assigned. Any questions that pertain to aspects of what I previously mentioned should be forwarded to the Suffolk County DA's office. Any questions that are pertaining to aspects outside of what we're discussing here today should be forwarded to the Suffolk County DA's office. They are overseeing the prosecution, and those questions are most appropriately answered by them. Are there any questions specific to what I discussed today? I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Okay.
Any information outside of the scope of what I brought to your attention today should be answered by the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office.
So they have been tracking this guy for over a year. They have been watching him still connect with paid services, paid ladies of the night, I guess you could say. That's the way I'll use it. They have been still tracking him, watching him this entire time while he was out, his wife, his family being gone, paying these people. And it was a balance to get the evidence, to watch him, and make sure nobody else got hurt. In my opinion, the reason they jumped right now is because they thought he was probably going to strike again. So how many had to beat up while watching is what? I don't understand what you mean. Yes, said they kept busy trying to be sure the dates were safe. Absolutely. He only did that during when his family was out. But now people are talking about he has a residence that he was planning to retire in South Carolina. But there is also where when he would go to South Carolina, there are people that have gone missing. They have not been tied to this Rex Heuermann yet, or maybe at all. But I'm just saying that there has, just for, the appreciation of talking, there have been people around in South Carolina while he was in South Carolina that did either become missing or show up unalive. So yes, we'll get to that. So now I want to read. We got so much to cover. Let's see here. All right. So this is who Rex is being charged for at this time. Now, all members are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Rex is still considered innocent until he has been proven by a jury or judge guilty in a court of law. So, I do want to say that. So here is, when was this date? Okay. So this is, he's being charged with a violent felony for unaliving Melissa Barthélemy on July 10, 2009. And then Megan Waterman, June 6th, 2010. Amber Costello, September 2nd, on or about, these are all on or abouts, September 2nd, 2010. And then Melissa, they're also charging for a violent felony of unaliving, and the same with all three. So 2 charges in first degree and second degree. So, as described below, based on seriousness of the heinous nature of these serial unaliver, the planning and the forethought that went into these crimes, the strength of the people's case, and the length of incarceration the defendant faces upon conviction, the extended period of time that the defendant was able to avoid apprehension, his recent searches of sadistic material, child, you know what, images of victims and their relatives, counter surveillance conducted online as to the criminal investigation, his use of fictitious names, burner emails, cell phone accounts, and his account to his history of processing pew-pews. This only means to ensure the defendant Rex A. Heuermann return to the court is remanded him without bail. So as they told you, they have a lot. I'm going to show you some of the searches that this guy did. We'll get to all of this. Okay. Here is some of the searches that Rex has done. And this was connected to an email account, in excess of over 200 searches between March 2022 and June 2023. June 2023 was literally just last month. Okay, Lafferty, thank you so much. All right. So some of his searches included: why could law enforcement not trace the call made by the Long Island serial unaliver? Right? Why hasn't the Long Island serial unaliver been caught? Now, some of these, I mean, anybody could ask. You know what I mean? It's not really uncommon for some of these, but there are others that it is clearly something's wrong. I wonder if he's responsible for the Atlantic City ones too. Diana, I'm telling you, guys, I think we are going to be shocked in how many human beings' lives this man has destroyed, and families. I mean, it's really terrifying that any of us could be living next to a serial unaliver at any time. It's really scary. Very scary. All right, Long Island serial unaliver phone call, Long Island serial unaliver update, Long Island serial unaliver update 2022, FBI active serial unalivers. That's an interesting one because, did he check on other serial unalivers? Was he, fascinated? Did he learn by other serial unalivers out there, right? Maybe I should say serial K. Maybe I should say that. Map of all known serial Ks. That's an interesting one. Uh, unsolved serial cases. I mean, there's actually a couple, or a few that are kind of wide stream media right now. Obviously, we have Rex, who's been caught, but we have Oregon again, and then we had um, a case that I did not too long ago. I spoke with one of the victim's family members. We stayed in touch the entire time in California. He was unaliving homeless people, which and I know that a lot of these times, most of these times, these types of people always go for the struggling in society, the ones that are having, you know, the harder times, the ones who generally won't be missed as much. And I'm saying that in, like people that are generally awake. Hold on for 1 second. The ones who generally won't be, that are not in contact with their families on a daily basis, whether it be for substance or, being ladies of the night or whatever. Vulnerable people. You meant that's how he feels like they would not be. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Who else? What else did he search? America's 5 most notorious old cases. I think he means cold cases, but he typed it differently. 11 currently active serial Ks, 8 terrifying active serial Ks we can't find, in parentheses. John Bidoff, Megan Waterman, Melissa, uh, and then they redacted names of relatives. So we know that this guy actually called in to victims' families and tormented them. Not only did he take their loved one, right? Not only did you take their loved one, but you wanted to literally hear and cause more pain. What kind of sick individual does this? But the other day I was showing a video of uh, this Rex guy in doing an interview with his architect company. You would never ever think that something like this was even possible with a man like that. But again, that's when we have, the public persona, the private persona, and then the absolute secret persona, or the secret self. Um, and that is true with all of us, but that doesn't mean, that you're a serial unalive or anything like that. It just means, there's things that we maybe think, or, that we're not going to ever tell anybody, right? Lucifer in the flesh, absolutely. Maria says, pure evil monster enjoying destroying the victims' families. It's just beyond sick. Uh, Cops launch Gilgo Beach homicide investigation task force, mapping the Long Island murder victims. Inside the Long Island serial K and Gilgo Beach. The Gilgo Beach oops, K, Criminal Minds, is in Long Beach serial K investigation. New phone technology may be key to break the case. Pardon me. So they are searching the underneath, like the basement part of his house. Now, there is out there that they're saying very much, yes, uh, very violent S acts. So here we have them, them searching underneath the house. And there was someone who came to like decorate the house, or an interior design, but he would not let them fool with the room at all, searching the basement of LISK. So the mobile crime lab, the medical examiner, local law enforcement, and state police are at the scene of Omega Storage. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. So, what did the man have in his storage building? Gacy vibes, you say. I wonder if the brother ever helped him. Well, we do know that his brother has been convicted of unaliving as well. And what happened? Did something, how long has this been going on? We know almost certainly has to be more than just the Gilgo Beach. Pardon me, y'all. So yeah, what are they going to find in these? I mean, from what I understand, they were still processing this today. And this has been going on for a couple days now. I find it hard to believe that he waited until his 40s to start committing these. I think it is a lot. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm just saying, wouldn't that be crazy if if his brother was involved? I think there's a lot more that's going to be found out. Absolutely, Alafade. Absolutely. There most certainly will be, I'm sure. So they were processing it with tint and everything there. They seem to be doing it the right way. All right. Let me see which one I should. Okay. Let's go to the discovery of the victims here. Discovery of the victims. On December 11th, 2010, police officer John Malaya was conducting a training exercise with his canine partner Blue along Ocean Parkway in Gilgo Beach, Suffolk County, New York. During the course of his training exercise, Blue located a set of human remains. The remains were later identified as those of Melissa Bartholomew. 2 days later, on December 13th, 2010, the SCPD continued to search the proximity of where the remains of Melissa were recovered. On that date, the members of the SCPD found 3 additional sets of human remains within 1/4 of a mile of the first discovery. See image below. These 3 additional sets of remains were identified of those of Maureen Barnes, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. The cause of death of all 4 women were determined to be homicidal. Okay. And number 1, this is where Maureen was found. This is where Melissa was found. 3 is where Megan was found. And 4 is where Amber was found. And we have to remember, this is just almost right in front of, just like a straight shot, like where the beach is, just straight shot over to his house pretty much. Wonder how these poor women died. Well, we'll get to that. The investigations into the unalivings were linked as, in addition to other factors, the victims each appeared to have been placed in close proximity to one another, 22 to 33 feet from the edge of the parkway. All were petite females, approximately 22 to 27. Now, remember, this guy is huge. Oh, he is like legit. He is a big man, 6'4", 6'6", I believe, somewhere in that. Look how big this guy is. Look how big he is. He's a monster. And he likes the little petite women, which to me, why? It's something within his head. One second. All right, guys, sorry about that. It just makes it extra. I wonder if his mom was petite. Good question. Was his mom, was it his first girlfriend? It's usually something from childhood, but why, why did this happen like this? Did his wife not ever go into the locked room in their house? I don't know. I mean, to me, it seemed like she didn't seem like she was that involved. They'd been married a long time. So it kind of felt like, a kind of a separate life. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So they were found 22 to 33 feet from the parkway. Petite females, 22 to 27, believed to be working as ladies of the night. All had missing clothing and personal possessions. All had been unalived by homicide. All had contact shortly before their disappearance with a person using a burner cell phone. He does have real estate in several states. I'm going to show you he went on these hunting trips as well. Paid a lot of money. All right. So, burner cell phones. I tell you something. I wish they would do away with these burner cell phones. If you can't have it in someone's name, a cell phone, in my opinion, you don't need it. Right, Grace? You don't need it. I mean, why? Listen, if you can't put a name to a cell phone, you're doing something wrong in the first place, in my opinion. All you need is a name, just a name, an ID and a name. That's it. Whenever you purchase a cell phone, let's say at Walmart, right? Just have to show the ID. Just show the ID. Cash types it in or whatever. And that's that. You can go buy a burner cell phone, buy some minutes, type in the minutes, and that's it. They want a credit history and plan. Well, I'm not even saying I understand that, but I'm just saying a name with the phone, not a credit check or anything, just a name. Show the cashier your ID and type it in. Because Don Wells loves burner phones. Candace loves burner phones, right? Yes, Grace. And I believe, in my opinion, it would have been better if they didn't have those. Yeah. Okay. So the burner phones, i.e. cell phones without an associate verified identity, and the cell phones of 2 of the 4 victims. Although the defendant is not yet charged with any crimes to the disappearance and unalivings, Miss Barnes, as set forth below, defendant Rex A. Heuermann is the prime suspect in the death in the investigation, which continuing and is expected to be resolved soon. Moreover, there is substantial evidence of defendant Heuermann involved in the disappearance and death of Miss Barnes, which evidence closely fits the modus operandum of the defendant in relation to the unalives of the 3 women which support the current charges. As such, the bail contains description of the evidence which demonstrates the strength of the people's case and charged. Okay. Now, here we go. One second. I need to take this cough drop out of my mouth. All right. Sorry. We've all been sick. All right. Barnes, Barthélemy were used by the unaliver after their deaths. In addition, each of the 4 victims were found similarly positioned, bound in a similar fashion by either belts or tape, with 3 of the victims found wrapped in a burlap type material. So these people, they get away with it once, and then they have a very similar way that they do it again. And they found these victims bound the same way, positioned the same way, wrapped the same way in burlap. I wonder why burlap? Why burlap? That's interesting. You don't hear burlap every day. Oh, that could be true. It would kind of fit into the beach kind of thing. Oh, daily. We have been. It's been. I've got family in, and they've been on the aircrafts so much. So they bring everything here. All right. Let's continue. Recent investigation. In January 2022, the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office assigned an experienced team to investigate analyze and prosecutors to work jointly with law enforcement partners from the Suffolk County Police Department, New York State Police, Suffolk County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI. A comprehensive review of every item of evidence and information in this investigation was undertaken by the team. On March 14th, 2022, approximately 2 months into the renewed joint investigation, this comprehensive review led to the discovery of a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche. Who has that? That was registered to defendant Rex A. Heuermann. At this time of the murders. As described below, this was significant because a witness that disappeared of Amber Costello's identified a first-generation Chevrolet Avalanche as the vehicle believed to have been driven by the killer. That is true. That is true. And one of the neighbors who made that call, they said they described a truck similar to the Avalanche as well. Okay. The discovery led to a comprehensive investigation of defendant Rex, which consists of over 300 subpoenas, search warrants, and other legal process to obtain evidence. As discussed more fully below, among the items uncovered were cell phone billing records for defendant Rex corresponding to cell site location for 1, the burner phones used to arrange meetings with 3 of the 4 victims. So once they got his cell phone records, the burner phones, they got the records to the burner phones, they figured it out, and those phones, 3 of the 4 victims, Rex was calling them, they are alleging. Number 2, the taunting calls made to relative Miss Barthélemy. That is when he called shortly after the unalivings and sent taunting. Just, you can't even think straight when you think of someone. Not only did this person take the life of this poor soul, but then he calls the family members while they're grieving days later. Just beyond. Number 3, a call made by detectives to Miss Barthélemy cell phone while looking into her disappearance, checking voicemails to Miss Barnes' cell phone after her disappearance. In addition to Rex lived in Massapequa Park, where the victims were believed to have disappeared from, and he worked in Midtown Manhattan in the vicinity where the taunting calls were made to the sister of Miss Barthélemy. I mean, you're in the middle. Think about it. You're in the middle of, New York City with a burner phone. That's crazy. That is crazy, y'all. Okay. The disappearance and the murder of Maureen Barnes. Maureen Barnes was last seen on July 9th, 2007 in New York City. At the time, she was believed to have been a SEX worker. On July 6, 2007, Miss Barnes' cell phone was contacted by a burner cell phone. Between July 6, 2007 and July 9th, 2007, so 2 days, there were 16 interactions between this burner phone and Miss Barnes' cell phone. On July 9th, 2007, the last cell site location for Barnes' cell phone was at approximately 11:56 p.m. in Midtown Manhattan near the 59th Street Bridge. Thereafter, Miss Barnes' cell phone had no further activity until July 9th, 2007. Sorry, July 12th, 2007. On July 12th, 2007, 3 days after her disappearance, 2 outbound phones were made from Mrs. Barnes' cell phone. So basically, she was unalived. What I'm getting from this, she was unalived on July 12th. Sorry, she was unalived on July 9th, 2007. By July 12th, Rex, in my opinion, is using her phone. And that seems what they are alleging as well. As he was checking her voicemail from a cell site location near Long Island Expressway in Islanita. Is that how you pronounce it? So, the disappearance of Melissa Barthélemy. Very sad. Very sad. Just sick. Melissa was last seen July 10th, 2009. In New York City at the time, she was believed to be a worker as a SEX worker. On July 3rd, 2009, Melissa was contacted by a burner cell phone. Thereafter, Melissa's cell phone was contacted by this burner phone on July 6th, July 9th, and July 10th, 2009. 1 second. I don't know which kid it is. Sorry. Kids get a little loud sometimes. I have 5 kids right now. 5 kids. Oh my Lanta. That's a little crazy. All right. Where was I? On July 10th, 2009, the cell site records indicate that the burner phone traveled from I just said it a second ago, Park to Midtown Manhattan. Later that evening, Melissa's cell phone traveled from Midtown Manhattan to Massapequa, with the last cell site location being in Massapequa on July 9, 2009. At approximately 1:43 a.m. on July 11, 2009, Melissa's cell phone was used to make an outbound call, checking her voicemail from a cell site location in Freeport. On July 11th and July 12th, 2009, Melissa's phone made 2 more outbound phone calls, checking her voicemail from cell site locations in Babylon. On July 17th, July 23rd, August 5th, August 19th, August 26th, 2009, Melissa's phone made taunting phone calls to Miss Barthelomew's family's members, some which resulted in a conversation between the caller, who was a male, and a relative of Melissa Bartholomew, in which the male caller admitted unaliving assaulting Melissa. As described below, the cell site location in Melissa's phone during these taunting calls were all in Midtown Manhattan. So what they are doing, they are targeting these calls in Manhattan, but they're also seeing where they're going, and they're going to Long Island, to a little certain address here, right? I've got some let me show you these right here. Cell phone billing records of Rex Heuermann. During the time of the disappearance of the unalivings of the victims, defendant Rex owned an architectural business located in Midtown Manhattan, and this business was the named subscriber of Rex's cell phone. So the person who owned the cell phone owned the business located in Midtown Manhattan. Oh, kind of where those cell phones have been pinging, right? And this business was the named subscriber of Rex Heuermann cell phone, which was active during the time of the victim's disappearance and subscribed to Rex's home address in Massapequa Park. Although cell site records from the time period no longer exist, investigators obtained cellular billing records which showed general location information of Rex's cell phone. A review of these records, as well as Rex's American Express records, showed numerous instances where Rex was located in the same general location as the burner phones used to contact the victims, Barthélemy, Waterman, and Costello, as well as Barthélemy's cell phone was Barthélemy's cell phone when they were used to check voicemail and making taunting phone calls after the woman disappeared significantly. Investigators could not find no instance where Heuermann was in a separate location from these other cell phones, such as a communication event occurred. For example, on July 10, 2009, the last day Melissa was seen alive, both the burner phone and the defendant's phone, Rex's phone, were in the area of Massapequa and traveled toward New York City. Thereafter, both Barthélemy's phone and Rex's phone traveled eastbound toward Massapequa. All right. So, where are we at here? So, just the billing records. The victim's phone, she would have been right here. Rex's office would have been right here. So, basically, what they're doing, they're just trying to get it all squared away. They're triangulating everything is what they're doing, basically, more or less. Where was it? Okay, I want to show you some other things here. Rex, he has some hunting permits, which he certainly liked the pew-pews. He definitely liked the pew-pews, which were he had them in Alaska, or issued in Alaska, but it shows his addresses where all of this took place as well. This is also interesting. This is down the street, right at the street where his office is. The Google Earth, you know how they blur out people? This really looks like Rex, and he's talking to a woman. He had over 200 guns. Yes, he had. I didn't know it was over 200, but I knew it was a boatload of them. I knew it was like literally a boatload of them. Literally like a boatload. One second, y'all. Yeah. Okay. Who needs 200 G wins? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. I mean, this is I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand these human beings that find what most human beings find the most repulsive thing humans can do, child are, and unaliving people. You just don't, it's just, you just never will understand it, I guess. Look at his place here in South Carolina. Oh, yeah, let me show you this place. We'll do this article, and I want to show you the people that's also missing around Rex as well. Which one was it? Okay. Let me show you this as well. Hold on. This is a voicemail.
After I left the group. Previous to that, he did call me a couple of times. I answered the phone, nothing really significant. I found it odd. He was calling me because he had no work for me. I had no work for him. There was no ongoing relationship. We were just two people who used to be in the same networking group. So, take a listen, share your thoughts. There's nothing, incredibly scary about the voicemail besides the fact that he is the Gilgo Beach murderer.
That's
But
scary
yeah,
enough.
enjoy, I guess.
Hey, this is Rex from the BNI group. I actually heard you are no longer part of the group. I still wanted to talk to you. I had a question for you. And also wanted to touch base. So if you get an opportunity.
I just want to say he sounds very friendly. He sounds very friendly. And I could see anybody being fooled by this guy. Oh, shit. Sorry.
You can always try me at the office. Or feel free to use my cell. Hope you're doing good. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.
I'm going to replay that because we didn't catch the
Hey guys, I'm going to upload the voicemail from Rex Heuermann. He left this for me end of February after I left the group. Previous to that, he did call me a couple of times. I answered the phone, nothing really significant. I found it odd. He was calling me because he had no work for me. I had no work for him. There was no ongoing relationship. We were just two people who used to be in the same networking group. So, take a listen, share your thoughts. There's nothing, incredibly scary about the voicemail besides the fact that he is the Gilgo Beach murderer. But yeah, enjoy, I guess.
Hey, this is Rex from the BNI group. I actually heard you are no longer part of the group. I still wanted to talk to you. I had a question for you. And also wanted to touch base. So if you get an opportunity, you can always try me at the office. Or feel free to use my cell. Hope you're doing good. Hope to talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay, I want to show her face again.
Hey.
Okay.
Guys.
So I wish it won't let me pause it. So look at her. She's young. She's attractive. She is petite. And they were in this, kind of the same network. In my opinion, she may have been a victim herself if not caught. If she would have got in touch or anything like that with him. Very scary. She looks like most of the victims. Yes. Yeah. Very scary. Very scary. So here is where they were. Which one was it? Pop up this. A king of narcissism. The guy. He sounds to me, he sounds very friendly. He sounds. This is where they were searching his yard. They were looking drones, and looks like a bigger version of him. They were taking out. He was probably asking her out. He totally was creeping on her. This is, okay, right here. Oh, let me back it up. Show you. Right here. This was his. God only knows what they found. God only knows. Guys, I can't even. Can you imagine how many they're going to connect him with? What kind of group was it? I can't remember. It was. Hold on, I'll tell you.
Guys, I'm gonna upload the voicemail from Rex Heuermann. He left this for me end of February after I left the group. Previous to that, he did call me a couple of times. I answered the phone, nothing really significant. I found it odd. He was calling me because he had no work for me. I had no work for him. There was no ongoing relationship. We were just two people who used to be in the same networking group. So, take a listen.
A networking group.
Share your thoughts.
So it was a networking group, in New York and big cities. There's a lot of networking groups. They carried out what I looked like a deep freezer. Yes. Now, in the beginning, before his daughter was born, he would dismember the victims. He would dismember them. Now, it seems like after his daughter was born, he stopped dismembering. I don't know why, but he used to dismember and then he didn't. Maybe he got more comfortable. This scene reminds me of the footage I've seen from documentaries. It does, Teddy. I was thinking there's a Netflix documentary, and when I saw, where was it? When I saw this footage right here, I immediately thought the same thing. Did law enforcement link him to those bodies? Which bodies? Yes. They took out, I don't know, Julia. I really don't know. When they took out, they did take out some dolls. Here, let me show you. I have some photos of, oh, okay. So we know that he had some dolls with some hair, right? Some hair. And let me show you, how, like, when someone has died, a lot of times they'll put up a cross with, they'll put up like a cross with their name, in memory or whatever. They don't know who put these dolls here. They don't know who put these dolls here. But it's kind of creepy because can you imagine? Did he put these dolls here? I think he did, personally. I think he did. Here's another one. And this happened at the crosses, not just one of them where the crosses were these girls. Did you see his interview talking about hammers? Yeah, I showed his I love dolls, but that's creepy. Well, it's just another secret way for him to be involved. The hiding dolls, I'm not a fan of. Sorry to. Yeah, the hiding dolls are there. I think the hiding dolls are a little creepy myself. And that's exactly what. Oh, he's definitely playing a game. And he loved to taunt. I mean, I wish I had, I don't know if I have that interview. Let's see here. Quick. He was just talking in his office. Interview. Here we go. Well, here's a little clip, but it'll just show you. He seemed like, the neighbor said he was quiet. That's what they always say, right? But
an object.
okay.
All right, my last question. If you were a tool or an object to help you to bring your business to greater heights, what would it be?
That's an interesting question.
I know.
Because for what I do, we have to have so many tools in the toolbox.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. Oh, no. All right, my last question. If you were a tool or an object to help you to bring your business to greater heights, what would it be?
That's an interesting question.
I know.
Because for what I do, we have to have so many tools in the toolbox.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one. Oh, no. All right, my last question. If you were a tool or an object.
So,
if you were a tool.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Same thing. Just really, really creepy. I showed this interview the other day. Oh, they took it down. Okay. Maybe they took it down then. But, okay. So he had a place in South Carolina. He had several homes. And let me show you this. His home in South Carolina. I'm going to show you some missing people in that area as well. So Gilgo Beach Motor suspect Rex planned to retire in secluded South Carolina property, neighbor says. Now, wouldn't that have been crazy? That because these people, they don't stop. They don't ever stop. They just don't stop. I mean, you think of, maybe when they get super, super old, they might stop. Maybe him and Murdoch could be sellies. Right. All right, let me show you this. So, Chester, South Carolina. Rex, a New York architect, recently identified as a suspect in the series of unalivings on Long Island, planned to retire at his home in a secluded property in rural South Carolina. Thank you, Sleuth Fairy, my love. Appreciate you. They found life-size doll in a glass box. Yes. They did take that out. There's photos of them taking it out. They stop for periods of their life when they get married, yes, but they're definitely going to reoffend again. Absolutely. Okay. Where was that? Let me show you these dolls. Okay. In rural South Carolina, near his brother, Craig, according to his neighbors. So he wanted to live close by to his brother, who has been convicted of unaliving. I can't wait until we know more about this man's childhood, when they can, there's going to be so much more that's going to come out. What else do we got here? Craig keeps saying his brother is going into retirement. One neighbor who lives down the street from the rural properties in Chester told Fox Digital News, quote, "He told me when I first moved down here that his brother owns that lot across the road, and that his brother is going to retire down here, and when he does, everybody's leaving." Rex, a married father of two, apparently planned to, quote, "buy everybody out," according to the neighbor who spoke with Fox News on the condition of being anonymous. Here, I'll show you this. Here is the place in South Carolina. No warrant, no entry. That's a little creepy in itself, isn't it? No warrant, no entry, it says on the gate. Well, guess what, Rex? They certainly got a warrant. Certainly did. Yes, his wife is from Iceland. Looks kind of like a backwood compound. Yes, very creepy. Wrong turnish kind of feel. The properties owned by Rex and his brother in Chester are barely visible from the unpaved road on which they sit and are surrounded by no trespassing signs. Craig, Rex's brother, front gate has two signs. One reads "Keep out, no trespassing," and the other "No warrant, no entry." The back of their lots meet a series of connecting ponds where some locals keep boats. The neighbor said he went to cut grass on Sunday at the property he used to own across from Craig. When the neighbor approached the area, Craig apparently came up to him and hit him with a steel pole. Hit him with a steel pole. Yeah, he's got a warrant too. Could his brother be involved? Is there anyone in chat that lives in this area of South Carolina? Do I have a picture of his brother? Let me see here. Let's see here. I don't think I have a picture of his brother. Let me see here. Let's see here. I don't have a picture of his brother. There's a picture of his daughter. I can show you a picture of his daughter. Here, I'll show you a picture of his daughter. If this turns out to be like brothers who, did this, oh my God. So Rex's brother, he fatally struck police captain with car in 1998 while high on Coca-Cola close to siblings' Long Island home. He unalived. Where is the picture of the... There's a picture. There's a picture of his daughter here somewhere. I'm pretty sure there was. Okay, here's a picture of his daughter. Right here. I want to know about their childhood too. Do they have mommy issues? It sounds like it. I mean, his bio dad died young, or when he was young. Reason I asked for a pic of the brothers, I met a weirdo online years ago. Lived in Chester, South Carolina. Oh my God, Lisa. Oh my God. Don the shed ped. Yeah. Yeah, apple don't fall far from the tree, does it? But yeah, that's a photo of his daughter right there. Here is their marriage announcement. Just a lot. I mean, look how, I mean, these bodies, these human beings' bodies was literally almost on top of each other. Especially number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 8, 5, and then he started moving them on down. A suspect has been arrested. Young, petite women. And this is the guy. This is someone who worked as an architect, literally worked in New York City every single day. It's insanity. I personally... Okay. If you have ever researched or had anything about the 1970s murder in Alaska where the prostitutes were targeted, owned a lot of firearms. His name... Yes. Mystic, I watched a thing on that on Netflix as well. Yeah, his dad died when I thought he was 11, but it may have been 12. You're right. She works with him too. Yes, she does work, or did work with him. Absolutely. You just don't think of this man becoming this man doing sick stuff like this. Maybe this small woman reminds him of young GIRLS. Very good point, Dana. Very good point. If they can't connect him to other bodies, they found they still have a problem with their hands. Absolutely. But I think they'll be able to connect these women and more, in my opinion. What else was it? Okay, let me exit out some of this. Okay, so let me show you some of the people that have went missing in South Carolina in that area. I want to be very, very, very clear on this. This man, Rex, or he is not even accused with these individuals. But I'm just saying these are humans around Chester County, South Carolina, that are missing, unsolved. So this was the Kathy Jean, 39 years old, 1996. Denise, missing age 21. She would be 66 now. All of these. It's just there's a lot of. Some of these aren't even put in the thing right, but there is quite a number of people who you just never know. You just never, ever, ever know. It would be insane if, again, if this guy has done this in more than one location. Say, for instance, there's the like someone said earlier, the Atlantic City that still haven't been solved, and then we have obviously the Long Island, and then even in North and South Carolina where he has been, and his brother. We're going to learn quite a bit, I think, in this. Imagine delivery a place like that. Sabrina, I asked because of my career. Imagine delivery to a place like that in that untraveled areas. Oh my God. Can you imagine? No way. No way. I wouldn't like being a delivery driver. Now, you wouldn't like someone wanted me to go to a fence like that and it's got that sign and you're in the middle of nowhere. I am not delivering to you. Don't think so, mother chicken. No, no, no. Not going to happen. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. So, I wanted to show you all this, how they triangulated. This is how they kept triangulating and how they figured it out that it was Rex, or had a good suspicion. It all kept pointing. We live in a society now where it's really hard to get away with something like this. And I'm telling you, they keep it up. They are going to get caught. They can't help themselves. That's the thing. But this is what's really scary right here. This shows you the mind of what kind of person we're dealing with. Oh, yes, it happens. Wait, what? Because I'll tell you something. I think, in my opinion, if there had been better cell phone coverage where Don and Candace are, Ben Hill Road, Summer's case would have been solved by now, in my opinion. But I will tell you this, there is a lot better service on Ben Hill Road now versus a year ago when I was there. A year ago, I could not, which it was, the weather was really bad too, so that could have affected it as well. But the I actually was able to go live at the bottom of the hill on Ben Hill Road. See, I'm getting sidetracked, but oh, they absolutely love their burner phones. Absolutely. Now they've had phones that are non-burner phones too. Don and Candace. I mean, look at who looks up something like this. Pretty. I can't even say it. GIRL with bruised face. With that word. I know. And was he a victim of something like this when he was a kid? Did his stepdad do something? 10-year-old schoolgirl, skinny redhead, tied up. You know what? Short FAT girl tied up. It's just Asian, crying 10-year-old. He has a thing with he types in 10 years old a lot. And that's what's interesting to me. His dad died when he was 11 or 12. Is something rolling in his head of some sort? Just crazy. And of course, where he has looked up himself, in my opinion, Long Island serial unaliver and all that. So here are some of the websites that he searched as well. This case is solvable. New task force aims to solve Long Island serial unaliver case. Cops launch Gilgo Beach Homo, investigation task force. He also, obviously, where he took a selfie that kind of shows him that obviously this is him. Here's with the cell phone in his hand, where he went to purchase additional minutes. This is him literally in the cell phone place where he went to go get extra minutes, where he's literally paying cash, in order to buy these minutes. Because, it's obviously cash is a lot more less untraceable. Here is where he was driving in the Chevrolet Avalanche. He was eating. He threw this box of pizza. And this is where they sent it to the laboratory, and they got saliva from the pizza crust where he ate, and it later came back that it was consistent with Rex. Male hair on Waterman is significant. Yeah, and they found like a hair. Just crazy. But let me tell you something. If the FBI and, the District of New York put down the hammer, listen, the FBI has a 95% convicting rate. They've got this man. One daughter and a stepson. Mystic, she was live down there in 2020, not sure. Should have ate the crust. Chloe. You're funny. 11 victims. He's charged with 3 as of now. I'll tell you something at the end of it, which, you also got to think too. There could have been someone who unalived someone, and because they knew that bodies are found right here often, they could have, put the body, another person there, trying to confuse it with the Long Island serial unaliver, right? So just because there's 11 doesn't mean Rex did them all, but it's very highly likely and possible that the majority of them are. They need to go further back. I bet you they will, but it's going to take some time. Something is not right here for sure. Now they have to tie him to the rest of the victim. Once he gets interrogated, I think he's going to love bragging about his conquest. He's going to, yeah. It's very, to be honest with you, I think hopefully he'll crack. Natalie West, thank you so much for becoming a member, my love. I do appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate it. Thank you. So it's just going to be crazy what's going to come out in the days to follow, for sure. It really is. Yeah, so and just what they got out of his house, what they got out of. Let me show you this. Here, I'll show you this. Okay, here is this is from Chopper 12. Credit goes to Long Island News12.com. This is where They were processing it. They processed it all right there on the table. And just the trucks that they were going through, it's the amount of decades or decade, more than a decade of evidence. It's going to be quite vast and plenty. So yeah, we're going to learn a lot. We're going to learn a lot, and I will be on it every step of the way. To me, the wife's hair on the victim could be he took them into the house. It could be. You would be surprised. I mean, we're constantly shedding hair, uh, and we constantly track things, bring things on our clothes, all of that. You are constantly, anything you touch, obviously, you are leaving your DNA, transfer DNA, touch DNA everywhere. I hope they checked that anti-car. Oh, Mohawk, they did. They took it out. They took it out on wheels. They certainly did. They took it out. So, well, apparently he's not wanting notoriety because is stating not guilty. He is stating not guilty right now. But that's one second. Once he sits in that interrogation room and they see, he shows them all the bukus of what they have, I think he'll be like, all right, let's talk. Amy, Justin, just to let you know, all the towns in Long Island are named after Native American tribes. They're hard to pronounce. Yes, they are hard to pronounce. Oh, did they say I have phantom children? Oh my God, that's funny. It's a link for membership. Thank you. Of course, Janice, model post a link for membership, of course. Not only would I divorce my husband if he had a weird like that, I would slap him upside the head too. Absolutely, yes. Is that wife saying she doesn't know anything? That's a good question, Amy. That's a good question. Where does the wife stand on this? Now, to be fair, she says, or he supposedly did this when she was out of town. So, but, I mean, over 27 years, you've had to find another phone, something weird, something, don't you think? When she went to Iceland, when she went to the beach, anything, anytime she was out. That is correct. She was from Iceland, is from Iceland, and she would frequent there. But like, I feel sorry for the kids. That's who I really feel sorry for. They're adult regardless. Imagine finding out your parent is a serial unaliver and is that person who, I wonder if the wife ever or the kids ever talked about the Long Island serial, like BTK's daughter. Yes, and she's actually commented quite a bit on this. No, I don't think she was mail order Brad. Yes, BTK was married for a long time. Robert Hansen, all of them were shocked. Yes. I mean, to be honest with you, think about it. I mean, if your husband was a serial unaliver and you knew about it, wouldn't you say something? I mean, even the ones that, because listen, if this guy, if his wife knew, he would probably unalive her as well. They would probably unalive her as well because they're going to get in an argument at some point within 20 some years, and all she would have to know is, oh, he's a serial unaliver, and all she would have to do is tell, and he's gonna unalive her. Maybe she knew something was off, but not to that extent. That's probably more the case. And like, I don't know the customs, there's different customs. She's from Iceland. Maybe she doesn't know what is a normal marriage as far as, like being married to an American man. Maybe they did things a little awkward and she just thought that's how it was in this, in this culture. My husband collects my hair just by getting in the car with me. When you're married and you have long hair, yeah, that's you. I would have had divorced him for letting him live in a dump house. Well, that's not their targeted and naive person, potentially, yes. Absolutely. The doll in the case would have been enough for me to call. Right. Um, I mean, if that is his doll, I question a middle-aged man who's an architect wanting dolls. Like, I question that alone. You know what I mean? Getting married might have been a cover for his deep, gross desires. Maybe he was hiding by trying to look. Well, yeah. Well, they always hide in plain sight. These serial unalivers, they don't just live under a rock somewhere. We walk amongst them every single day. Every single day we walk amongst them. So, we work with them, know them. They may go to your church, your place of worship. They could be your lawyer. They could be your architect. They could be your professor. My boyfriend is not a murderer. I'm 100% sure. That's good. That's good. Could have been an heirloom passed down to him. Potentially. Potentially. Um, they know how to mask it. Absolutely. They definitely know how to mask it. Your realtor. Sometimes SKs brag and sometimes make the cops prove it. We will see what happens here. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, from what we know already from this guy, what is being put out publicly, I mean, it sounds like they've got it in stone, in my opinion, because they only give us enough probable cause, right? So they have told us this amount of stuff. They have to have bukus of more, and that is not even what they have processed, right? So they've had to have so much more just for the probable cause, right? The creepy doll excuse. I don't know. Sometimes dolls, it's kind of like some of the pictures. They look like their eyes are, they follow you. He's he's a serial. He's been covering things for many years. He's kind of sloppy, but he's pro level until DNA took him out. DNA and cameras are everywhere, specifically since 2007, 2008, when about the iPhones, the smartphones came about. Now we have the smartphones everywhere, the street cams everywhere. We have the dash cams everywhere. It's, so it's harder and harder for these people to stay in the darkness. Definitely not impossible. Um, the more our world becomes technical, the harder it's going to be. But also, um, they know where they have to stay off of as well, right? They don't want to be around any technology, right, when something like this is happening, because technology is going to do you in. Well, I mean, even your car now. Look at your car. Your car has GPS and everything. If you drive a modern day car with GPS, my car has OnStar, right? It knows every turn that I make, every single turn that I make. It knows what street, how fast I'm going, where I'm at, everything. It can lock my doors, unlock my doors, turn my heat on, start my car. So, if I walked into a man's house and he had a dog collection, I'm out. Yeah, we're definitely tracked by everything that we use now, for sure. For sure. So that's that. All right, y'all. Well, I am literally at 2 hours now. I want to thank you all for being here with me. I appreciate you all. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about summer wells. We're never, ever, ever going to give up on Summer Moon Utah wells until justice is brought to her. And until someone is in silver, someone or someones are in silver bracelets. That is for certain. I'll be scheduling that tonight. It'll probably be 3 o'clock tomorrow or so whenever I go live about the summer wells. We're also going to be talking about Carly. I don't know, guys. I'm starting to wonder, and I pray that it is not a hoax. I was going to go live with it today. I've got a lot of information, but I didn't because I'm still wanting to know if something is going to come out tonight or in the morning. I want to know. It's amazing how the parents and all of them were talking, obviously reminder, but now, and why is that? Tomorrow I'm going to be talking about that, and I'll be talking about summer wells. I have some questions for Candace. Candace, we need to know, you said you was going to show us proof of the tents that I sent to those homeless people. And you said you were going to show receipts of the food supplies for 3 children and a mother, most likely, illegal. Why didn't you do that? And if you did this to homeless children, you damn sure would do it to anybody else. I got a lot to talk about tomorrow about that. Got a lot to talk about. Love you all. Thank you, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Appreciate it. Leave a heart in the comments down below if you made it this far, and I'll heart it back. Love you all. See you on the next one.